Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Oh, subscribe button. I keep forgetting to turn that off at the end of it. Anyway, what's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast in, god damn, it's been a while since we've done a Sunday show. Oh, the editing. Oh, the broken computer. It's been a while. God, it's so nice to be here on a Sunday. And we got a whole host of awesome movies to talk about tonight as well, which is a change.
What do you mean? We often have awesome movies.
Not recently.
When's the last time we did a Sunday show? Because I can't remember. My brain is shit.
I can tell you exactly when it was, which were awesome movies. It was the fan-made horror films episode.
See?
Yeah, that one was good. But since we've done that show, it's been a lot of dodgy movies on a Thursday. Bar the Snyder Cut. But talking about the Snyder Cut also involves you having to talk about the original Justice League.
You don't have to.
Poopy. It's Monday, not
We
Sunday.
invariably ended up.
Bill, technically for us here in Ireland, it is Monday. But I live on American time. So it is in fact Sunday.
Yes, he does.
It is in fact Sunday for me. Yes.
Plus, Bill is just trying to
I function with Americans that much that I've had to change my body clock while still living in a GMT time zone to float somewhere between CST and EST, if memory serves me correctly, with an occasional dabble.
Bianca Belair?
No. Eastern Standard Time. With an occasional...
Not EST of NXT.
With an occasional dabble of the toe into PST.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyway, on tonight's show, we have kind of an old one, a not so old one, and a really new one.
Yeah,
We've got Jeff Godlblum and a whole Gina Davis, goddamn Gina Davis, and a whole host of a whole host of other people. Like
Karen Kane.
I love she is fantastically strange in this. I love it.
She's awesome. She's brilliant.
You need to clean there. You also need to clean there. You need to clean there.
You missed a bit there.
You missed a bit.
And you missed a bit there.
She's great. She's
fantastic.
Hack, just go back to Windows XP on a PC and I'm sure everything will work perfectly for you. I'm on a Mac, Katie.
I use Linux because Windows bad.
Yeah, unless there's an X in our operating systems, we ain't interested.
Is there an X in a Mac operating system?
Yeah, so is X.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Shall we say hello to people before we get rolling further?
Oh, look, I'm not... Yes, we should. Okay, we'll do that first. Okay, first and foremost, my lovely fiancée is in the chat. Hello to her. I know she wasn't there first, but she gets preferential treatment. She sleeps with me. Bree Bunch is there next. Hey, how are you? Bill, welcome to the chat. Just to clarify, I'm not going to get into a Mac versus PC conversation. I agree. I'm oddly on the fence. with it because I see both sides of the fence. Macs are very nice and have a very easy operating system to use. You then again, on the other hand, if something goes wrong with your PC, you can just open up the side of it without needing a fucking heat gun, and life is dandy. And you can just do some repairs yourself if you know what you're doing in there.
Gonna say hello, Katie, and hello, Buzz, as well while we're here.
Yeah. Sorting computers out is not unlike fingering a lady. If you don't know what you're doing, you should probably just stay out of the box in general.
Yeah, but practice, practice, practice.
Yeah, on a non-functioning box. That sounds bad now that I think about it.
What the fuck?
That sounds very like that sounds very much like I'm promoting necrophilia, which is not
Necrophilia?
Yeah. It was weird. It didn't sound like it in my brain, and then when it came out, I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely sound like I'm telling people to just go fuck dead people."
Crack open a cold one, folks.
Oh dear.
I just like
Bill just went Pam dump him now. He's practicing on non-functioning boxes. I'm not practicing on non-functioning boxes. I said for people that don't know what they're doing. Oh, you know what I'm doing. In both boxes.
Besides, hang on. To be fair, there's plenty of instruction manuals floating around the internet. Most people call it porn.
Yeah. You see, that's the weird thing though, because unlike a normal instruction manual, the porn instruction manual that doesn't carry over for every single person.
Incorrect. There are actually instructional videos.
Oh yes, that's true. Actually, you are completely yes. That is actually true. That is actually true.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to caffeinate there. For any of the ASMR fans, you're welcome. Yeah, anyway, we've got Transylvania at 65,000, Jeff Godlblum, Carol Kane, Herbert, I can't remember his name.
Joseph Bologna and Ed Begley Jr.
Ed Begley Jr., thank you. I had the junior in my head and I just couldn't get it to come out. After that, then we have, this had gone under my radar until myself and Giz were looking for stuff for an episode of American Horrors, which we'll get into later on when we're talking about this movie specifically, which is 100 Feet, starring Jean Grey, where basically Jean Grey is...
Famke Jannson.
Yeah, Jean Grey. Jean Grey is after getting out of prison, and her husband is dead, which is the reason she's in prison, and shit starts to go bloody awry for her, I'll tell you that straight out. And after that, next up we have with Will Patton. Payton? What's his name?
Yeah,
Will Patton, isn't it?
Patton. I'm not sure. I think it depends on how you...
Yeah, he's the only one you're going to know out of the movie. Anyway.
General Patton, Will Patton. Yeah.
Yeah, Will Patton? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's like I have Bill Paxton in my head because they're so close, and I'm just kind of like... Because I had Will Paxton in my head initially when I was about to say it, and I was like, no, that's definitely not right. Anyway, Will Patton, he's from Armageddon and things like that. Yeah, he's in a movie that we got. There's some monsters under the ground, and it might be a hellmouth for any of those people that may have watched Buffy over the years. It sure sounds like a hellmouth. Do you know what I mean?
It's there's
the basic premise is that a load of idiots decided to see could they drill their way to hell, and it turns out you can actually drill your way to hell. But who'd have thunk it?
The Russians did it first, and it's theorized that the Americans then decided they were going to have a crack at it, and as a result, this happened.
Yeah, this is how fucked up the world we live in is. Well, if they've got a fucking hellhole, I want a goddamn hellhole. No, you fucking idiot.
Why?
Jeez, let them have their hellhole. God almighty.
Pretty sure it'll take care of itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your Russian problem's sorted now. They have a hellhole. They got way more things to worry about than you fucking Yankee Doodle dandies over there. I'll tell you that straight out. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, fuck communism. I've got literal demons crawling out of the fucking ground. You all right? You look like someone rebooted you.
Sorry, apparently I'm being used as a middleman for something.
I've got a jar of dirt I've got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it? Game over, man. Game over. Bill, I want to show you.
That would be the Bill Paxman.
Right.
See, we're worse for engaging. Just ignore it.
Yeah, we are a live podcast. Like, otherwise, we should just not be live.
We are.
If we don't want, to talk to people, we should just not be live.
No. I agree wholeheartedly. It's just Bill's special.
Yeah, we've established this. Actually, we haven't even established this.
So,
Bill established this.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Shall we crush on into news bits?
Yes. Yeah, as is customary on our shows, we have delved through all of the darkness of the internet to find you some of the juiciest horror news bits from the week. So let's see you in the studio, because we're back on Sundays now. Oh, it's so nice to be back in the newsroom. That's the wrong news bit anyway. Open anyway. There we go. You know it's a Sunday when the news bits go wrong straight away. Good times. Anyway, First news bit up. We've got Metal Face.
Yeah. Okay. Saban Films is doing a new movie called
Give it a sec.
Initiation, which
We're
is
frozen.
set
Give it a sec.
Well, kind of cap.
We're frozen. Give it a sec. Not us gone offline. Computer freeze. Yeah, stuff's loading up there now.
I think it waits for me to talk.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, gives us
I think
doing
it's
stuff, we
literally
just freeze up.
you and technology. The more you said it, the more it's become apparent.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah. It's okay. I think we're back now.
well, that was
Yeah. We came back into you screaming motherfucking Decepticon toasters, if memory served me correctly.
everyone knows what I'm talking about at this stage. So
Yep. Yep. Anyway, first news bit we have is Metal Face.
Yeah. Saban Films is bringing a film called Initiation out on May 7th to theaters and on demand and
I'm
digital.
instantaneously worried about this movie.
Well, it seems it's capitalizing on the whole social media age.
Aren't they the guy? Aren't
there's a trailer-
Saban the guys who did the last two really dodgy Bruce Willis films? Yeah. Yep.
I don't think so.
No. What?
I don't think the same two companies did the last two.
100%. The one we did the TV show on and Breach definitely are both Saban. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm instantaneously worried about this movie.
Anyway, during a university's pledge week, the carefree partying turns deadly serious when a star athlete is found impaled in his dorm. The murder ignites a spree of sinister social media messages, sweeping the students and police into a race against time to uncover the truth behind the school's dark secrets and the horrifying meaning of a recurring symbol, a single exclamation mark. The film is directed by John Berardo. It was also written by Berardo, along with Brian Frager and Lindsay Lavanchi. Yeah, hope I got that right. As I said, there's a trailer for it up on YouTube if anyone wants to check it out. It'll be going to theaters, on demand, and digital from May the 7th, 2021, from Saban Films. Whether or not they were responsible for the last two Bruce Willis movies.
They definitely are. I'm Googling it here.
So,
yep.
All right,
Yep.
cool.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a little bit twitchy because those two movies were not great. A little bit twitchy.
Fair enough.
To say the least. I do like your man's mask though. It looks really cool. Anyway, next news bit.
Okay, moving on to DVD releases, or is it Blu-ray release or DVD release, or is it both? It is Blu-ray. Okay. So Scream Factory is going to be bringing out the 1976 version of King Kong in a special 2-disc set, Blu-ray disc that's due out on May the 11th, which will include, for the first time ever, the extended TV broadcast cut, which has additional TV footage from the internegative back in the day. There's a whole list of stuff that's on this thing.
Very
This
good.
one has the theatrical cut, which has a number of audios, a number of documentaries and interviews, interviews with photographers, sculptor behind some of the stuff, second unit directors, TV spots, theatrical trailers. The second disc is the one that has the extended longer cut in 2K. And we'll also have a panel discussion from Aero Theatre in 2016. Director John Gitterman's 76 film. The Petroxin Company's search for new oil reserves on a strange island unleashes a terror unseen by civilized man, King Kong. The timeless story of a beauty, played by Jessica Lange in this one, and a beast comes to the screen in this ambitious production from Dino De Laurentiis. Yeah, from Dino De Laurentiis. Okay, I thought there was more there. Charles Grodin is the scheming oil company shark out to exploit the giant beast to its fullest, and Jeff Bridges is the desperate hero Jack Prescott, who attempts to wrest the beautiful heroine from King Kong's grasp. New York City trembles with each echoing footstep of the towering ape set loose in the streets. Well, the collector's edition Blu-ray of that is going to be available in North America.
Sounds good. And if you want to move into the next news bit, and then I got to do a headphone change because evidently the batteries are dying on these.
Oh, okay. Witcher Game of Thrones. Let's see now. Netflix, the prequel series, to be called The Witcher: Blood Origin, with Jodie Turner-Smith and Lawrence O'Fuarne, who is set to play the main character named Fial. Right, here we go. Born into a clan of warriors sworn to protect the king, Fial carries a deep scar within him, the death of a loved one who fell in battle trying to save him. A scar that won't let him settle or make peace with himself or the world around him. In his quest for redemption, Fial will find himself fighting besides the most unlikely of allies as he carves a path of vengeance across a continent in turmoil. The series itself is set in an elven world 12,000 years before The Witcher actually takes place, and will tell the story lost to time, the creation of the first prototype Witcher, and the events that led to the pivotal conjunction of the spheres, when the worlds of monsters, men, and elves merged to become one. So this is set to be a 6-part live-action limited series, prequel series, and I do not, as yet, have a starting date. And yeah, I also do not apparently have a co-host. So there's that, which is interesting. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Because, sorry, I was reading stuff and then I looked up and you were gone. It was like, oh, okay. He's gone. I'm wondering, is it, like, since they're advertising this, is this something they're planning on releasing before the next season of The Witcher? Or maybe they've already got season 2 of The Witcher done and this is for season 3 and they're just... Because I haven't played the game, so I'm not sure how much backstory mythology is explained in
very
there.
uncomfortable. Fix this. No,
Bad
I'm
headphones?
very with this desk. They're mangled around a load of wires, and I'm afraid to do anything. So, I just had to sit like this, just for the first segment. It's fine. It's okay, kids. Don't worry about it. I'm just having a chill, sideways kind of Sunday. It's all fine. It's all good in the hood, you know. Just chilling. Uncomfortably close to my microphone. Yeah.
Looked like you nearly fell there.
Yeah, that sounds... What were you saying in relation to the Witcher video game?
That I've never played the Witcher video game, so I have no idea how much backstory was elaborated in that, nor have I ever read any of the Witcher books, so I'm not sure how much backstory is elaborated in that.
Is the easiest way of describing it. Like,
so
ungodful amounts of lore.
Okay, well, this goes back to the very... And is set 12,000 years before The Witcher, before all the worlds of beasts,
like,
men,
in
and
the game,
elves
there's
merged
literally
together into
books
one
you
conglomeration.
can pick up and read. There's lore out the wazoo.
Okay. Like I said, no idea when it's going to be coming out. That's the only downside of it.
Well, yeah. Ugh. Okay. Oh, this isn't going to work. Oh, no, wait. No. Okay. Right. So is that it for the news bits?
Yeah, that's it for the news bits.
Okay. 1 minute. I can get it. Back to the studio. Okay, I've found a temporary solution.
Your face when you did that was hilarious. It's like, oh, I found the solution.
It
Ooh.
was, okay, it was a proper eureka moment. What can I say? Oh, God damn you, Sundays. That's all I can say, really. It's God damn you, Sundays. Right. You know, we never claimed not to be a weird show. So, like, these are the things you have to take into account. Do you want to take that movie away?
Okay, so up first on the billing is 1980. I want to say 1986. Am I right? 1985. Ah, so close. Transylvania seeks 5,000, which is quite honestly a hilarious little tongue-in-cheek kids horror, not even horror, but kids spooky movie.
Yeah.
In which,
as I said, it's like a National Lampoon's horror movie.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
like in style, not actual. You know, that's an actual movie.
After a video emerges that supposedly shows Frankenstein's monster is alive and well and tearing up the scenery in Transylvania, journalists for the Sensation magazine, Jack Harrison and Gil Turner, played by Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley Jr., respectively, get sent off to Transylvania to investigate, despite the fact that, like, Jack is insistent that this is a hoax, this is a pile of crap, you can't be serious. I believe one of the best lines in it was, you hired me to raise the journalistic integrity of your newspaper. And the response is, no, I hired you to raise the vocabulary count of my newspaper. I want the journalistic integrity to be in the fucking ground. I mean, this film is just crammed full of fantastic lines like that make this brilliant. You know what else? Absolutely brilliant.
You know what else is brilliant about the movie as well? That they somehow, even though Jeff Goldblum, even though Jeff Goldblum technically is a character, somehow still manages to be Jeff Goldblum as Jeff Goldblum if Jeff Goldblum was a journalist with integrity and horny.
Yeah, but once again, that's pretty much Jeff Goldblum, so
he's not a journalist.
You know. Anyway, Jack and Gil go to Transylvania.
Yeah, they don't go up a hill though.
Is determined to. No, they don't. What?
Jack and Gil.
Oh, God. Firstly, they discover that Transylvania is actually fucking beautiful looking. It's picturesque. The weather is fantastic. So Jack's like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy the sights and have a look around and put together some bullshit article, and it's all going to be cool. And then Gil opens his mouth the very first fucking 5 minutes of the thing and asks about Frankenstein and gets turned into the laughing stock of the town, the two of them. So that's
and there's a slight pervy moment as well where essentially he's just looking in on elderly people. The two of them.
Gil? Oh, what is there?
Well, it's not elderly people, it's a mental home, but they get in trouble.
Their investigations.
Yeah.
They soon take up residence in the, well, pretty much the only hotel available, which turns out to be run by the town mayor.
He's
and
fun.
Staffed by the town. Yeah, staffed by the town. Interesting people. Oh man, you've got so many. Where's the name of the Radu? Yeah, is Radu and Loopy They're the couple,
Yeah,
aren't they?
and then there's also the guy
Yeah.
who played Kramer in
Feos.
Seinfeld.
Yeah. Feos is like determined that everything is a gag, and he's like so funny, and he's always
will
trying to
be
do these
famous
gags which
actor.
are ridiculous. But yeah, I'm so good. Say you laugh, you laugh. Trying to get Gil to join in on stuff, despite Gil adamantly not wanting to. Radu is your typical hunchback, calling everybody master up and down the court. Yes, master. Yes, master. You know, can you call me Gil? Yes, master. Maybe just master be easier. Yes, master. Loopy is his missus, who is also God's damned insane and played
She's
by
mad
Carol
as a bag
Kane
of
and
spiders.
hilarious.
I don't mind telling you.
Yeah. You have Dr. Malavakwa, who is in charge of the asylum and is unfortunately afflicted by what can only be described
Aggressive
as
multiple personality
adult
disorder.
which only manifests in certain places. See, when he's upstairs in the asylum doing his work, he's nice,
opposed to
calm.
it being situationally specific, it's locationally specific.
Yeah, when he's upstairs doing his work, he's all nice and calm. But as soon as he steps foot in that laboratory basement,
The haircut changes, the attitude changes. He becomes a lot more violent.
So, see, the thing is, the two lads start investigating one or two things, and they realize that there actually is something of a conspiracy. There is an effort to stymie their investigation because, well, for one thing, Gil keeps seeing this really hot vampire chick named Odette, played by Gina Davis, nom 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 nom, who
Is that her
keeps
surname?
appearing and disappearing in
Nom,
Gina
nom, nom,
Davis.
nom, nom.
No, but I feel it's an appropriate, thing. So yeah, she keeps popping up every now and then to give Gil a very interesting time and then disappearing again. And you're not quite sure, does she want to bite him or hump him or probably both? There is at one point, there's the wolf man who has
just
run
hairy.
amok, and yeah, they end up running into him in the forest. There is even a Frankenstein who, to be fair, makes a remarkably good babysitter.
Because he's not actually a Frankenstein.
No, he's not. He's not. He was a man
in a
that
weird
was
way.
injured.
This is like Dale and Tucker versus Evil to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? Or well, Dale and Tucker versus
Kind of,
Evil
yeah.
is like this to a certain degree, where it's a case of a lot of mistaken situations going on, where they're kind of like, "Oh my God, it's a Frankenstein." Nah, no, he's just really big and weird looking. If you get the whole story, he's not actually a Frankenstein.
Yeah, they even had a mummy. They go through all the tropes, but it turns out that every single one of the tropes is a perfectly reasonable explanation, and it's just
Well,
superstition
they're all
and
surgical
fact that-
patients of your man, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Malakova. Yeah, you have Odette. Odette was an infomaniac who apparently had a nose job done because she thought she was hideous. Frank, the dude that thought was Frankenstein, was actually
Well, I'm going to
a
say
car
well
crash
done on
victim
that
that he
nose
managed to
job,
put back.
sir, because you did a great job.
Don't forget there was also the mummy, because that was a full body change,
I've got the boobs.
which she was.
Oh no, knockers! I've got the knockers.
I never counted on bazongas.
Bazungas, that was it. Yeah. I've got the bazungas.
You have the inspirational speech from Radu at the end of it when the entire town are literally with pitchforks and flaming torches.
Yeah.
And, they're hunting the monsters and they're calling him a hunchback monster. And then his kid comes along and they scream at him and this inspirational speech of, you can say whatever you want about me, but don't you dare talk about my son.
Tell the son to stand
And,
up straight,
standing
because
up
it turns
straight.
out they're not actually hunchbacks. It's just kind of part of the job requisition.
Yeah, they got used to it. Yeah. This is, to be fair, just it's a nice kind of tongue-in-cheek kids comedy horror that's like just a PG-13 kind of.
I would be slightly reluctant to say kids, just because Gina Davis is hauling some serious cleavage predominantly throughout the movie.
Yeah. Part of the gag.
Yeah.
It's not like anything actually happens.
True. I just feel, I don't know, I could see a Catholic mother putting their hands over the kid's eyes anyway, I'll put it that way.
Thank the gods there aren't many of them floating around anymore.
There's more than you think. You know they've unionized, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They got some leader, he wears a weird hat.
Ah, that fella in the glass
Yeah.
box.
Well, it's not a glass box because boxes don't have wheels.
Well, glass roadie thing then.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's Transylvania. Oh, my spine. That's that's Transylvania 65000. God, I'm all kinds of broken up today.
It even has its own catchy theme song.
I'll tell you something straight out. It's not it's so weird having to talk this way when the camera's that way. I feel like I'm like about to drop in a fucking album track or something, especially the fact that I'm holding the headphones to one ear. It's very, very strange experience. Anyway, yeah.
It's okay. I can only ever hear you.
Speaking of music, though, don't get me wrong. It's not like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but it's a fucking catchy theme tune. Transylvania, 5,000. Transylvania, 5,000. Love it. It's very good. Will we hit a trailer? Cool.
Yeah,
Trailer for Transylvania 5,000, and then we're going to be back where we're going to be talking about The Devil Below. Catch you after that. Boing.
It began as a routine assignment.
Transylvania.
Where is that?
I don't know. It's over there someplace.
But beneath the surface
Transylvania's cute. It's cute.
of this happy land, horror awaits them.
I'm investigating Frankenstein.
You mean the monster?
And a terrible secret lurks in the shadows.
I'm terribly sorry. We thought you were an animal.
He is.
Now they're discovering the truth
Did you see Dracula?
Yeah, when it first came out.
about the creatures of the night.
Shut up, you lowlife!
I'm lower.
The curse of the undead.
Did you want to hurt me?
Hurt you? No. Bite you?
The terror of the full moon.
Oh yeah, I'm going into town.
And the monster that science created
Full house.
but could not destroy.
Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Good. Everything hurts.
Jeff Godlblum, Ed Begley Jr.,
Hi, ladies.
Joseph Bologna, and Gina Davis
Tell me you want me to.
for a good time called
Transylvania 5,000.
It's good, huh?
And we're back. That was the... No, that's not the one. Oh, yeah, it's here. Yeah, that was the trailer for Transylvania 5,000. That's a hell of a fun movie. I don't mind telling you. If you haven't seen it, definitely do go get a look. Everyone's performances are stand out throughout, especially like I know we're always raving on about Jeff Goldblum on the show because look, the world likes Jeff Goldblum.
It's just good. It's just because he plays
Yeah, but
a
you
straight
don't
man
see him
so well.
do, especially back then. You didn't see him do a lot of comedy roles.
Buckaroo
Okay, that's
Banzai
one.
springs to mind. If I had his thingy up in front of me, I'd probably know more, but it's just the one
Well,
that
he's not
bounced into
renowned
my
for being a
head there.
comedy actor. I put it that way.
He was funny as the collector.
Collector?
No, sorry, the Games Master.
What are we talking about?
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I'm talking about back then. I'm not talking now.
Okay.
I know he's done a lot of comedy stuff
Okay.
now. Anyway, it was just, he plays the straight man really well, is what I was saying. And there was a lot of actors you don't get to see. Like, I mean, a lot of the rest of them are, you know, they do comedy stuff. Like Gina Davis was in a lot of those kind of rom-com kind of things from back in the day. You literally have Kramer from Seinfeld. You know, Carol Kane, you know, while she's been in a lot of horror movies, she's also renowned for being, you know, that weird tweaky
comedian.
bitch in movies, do you know. Well, she is like, she's got the weird squeaky voice and she says weird shit. Do you know, that was kind of like her thing for a while. I love her in this. I love her in this. It's endearing.
I still was when she got cast as Mother Kubelput in Gotham.
Mother what? In what?
Mother Cobblepot.
Sorry, you lost me when you said Kubelput.
Yeah, because that's how they
Oh,
pronounced it.
Really?
So that it didn't sound like Cobblepot.
Sorry, Pam. I didn't notice. Sorry, people. Some messages were held there for my review, and unfortunately, I was fixing my headphones, so I didn't see them. But they're there now. Do you want to take a look at the chat there for a sec, just while I line up the trailers here to play in the background?
Let's see. We have Bill going on about. We've gone into a Faulty Tower riff. I see. Everyone loves Faulty Tower. It's fucking
Pam
awesome.
was watching Transylvania 65000 with me, and I had pointed that out quite a lot today. That she was like, "It's very Faulty Towers." I was like, "Yeah, except there's vampires. Just remember the fact that there's vampires." Although there isn't vampires really.
There's the illusion of a vampire.
So, yeah, there is the hotel itself. There's a Faulty Towers vibe, especially your man from Beetlejuice who plays the kind of the hotel manager. There's a real Cyril Faulty vibe off him to a certain degree, except a lot more manic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Jeffrey Jones, that's his name. Couldn't think of it there.
He's the dad from Beetlejuice, and he's the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And
he's in
anyway, as I was briefly describing earlier on, next up we have 100 Feet, which is essentially the story of a lady who murders her husband. She...
Hang on. Whoa. We were doing
shit. Yeah.
The conversation.
Sorry. I did. I won't lie to you. I had 100 Feet playing there for a second while we do that. We'll just fix that real quick there. That's not a problem. Anyway, sorry. I totally forgot we'd flipped it around. There's a reason we flipped 100 Feet around, by the way. I'll explain it to you later on when we get rolling into it. But, okay, so freshly out from about maybe last month, I think.
Yeah, it got released, I think, at the start of... End of February, start of March.
Yeah, and it's called The Devil Below or Shookum Hills, depending on what page you look up.
Yeah, the original production title of the film, and up until its
release,
up until very recently, its distribution and release, it was called Shookum Hills, and then they changed it to Devil Below just before it got released.
Yeah, this is right. So here's the story. It basically. We find out that many years ago, in a kind of a flashback to the past at the start of the movie, that for some reason people decided, do you know what, it'd be a bit of a laugh. We'll try and drill our way down to the center of the earth and see if there's a hell. Basically.
Well,
the Russians are drilling into hell, and they got a whole hole of hell going on, and I won't lie to you, I want a big hell hole as well, so we're making a hell hole.
Well, it's never confirmed. It's just a theory that somebody has. They reckon that that's what this place is. That's the reason for it. At the start, it's just a bunch of miners that are like digging for coal and stuff in there.
Yeah, but it's not though, is it?
No, it turns out that the place is actually, it goes down much, much deeper.
Yeah. In fact, I'd go as far to say is that it turns out that what I just said there a second ago is completely true.
Except it wasn't confirmed in the film. It's just the theory that somebody has, so everyone just figures it's the same thing.
Oh, as in, it's just a theory that it's a hole to hell? Yeah. Because
when they're going up, they're saying there's all these different stories about it, and, you know, some people say it's the answer to Russia's gate or Hellmouth or Gateway to Hell or whatever they call it, that the Americans decided, oh, we have to have one of those as well for some strange and unknown reason.
Yeah.
And then ever since, it's just been, people have just been mining it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's essentially the story. So there's this scientist kind of documentarian guy. There's his crew, and there's a girl who, from what we've been able to establish during the movie, has been taught by her dad how to find anybody and deal with all things related to finding anybody, if you know what I mean. So she is kind of as handy as a small pot occasionally, except that all of this logic that she's supposed to have is apparently not there really when you kind of need it, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, during the car chase scene, you know, we'll get into that when we get into the likes and dislikes about the movie kind of thing. Anyway, they go off hunting. They run into the locals. The locals are kind of like, hey, what are you doing up here around them there parts? And then they're like, oh, we're looking for this hellhole, supposedly, that we, blah, blah, blah. Well, I will say she handles this very smart, whereas she does a kind of instigating question, which is very much to suss the locals' reaction to her question. And she's kind of like, she walks out of the place and she's like, yeah, we're definitely on the right track anyway. They do not look happy with what I was asking inside. More so confirmed as she drives up the road and one of the locals very angrily drives her, tries to run her out of town. She's aware of the shenanigans that he's pulling, notices that he's slowing down by a specific area to make sure that they don't go into that area. She parks up the road a little bit, waits for him to drive by, and then just reverses back down to the area. Simple as chips. They get into the woods. They go looking for this hellmouth. Unfortunately, sometimes when you go looking for things, you might just fucking find them. Yep. And they find them. And some nasty beasties that we don't get to see for 90% of the fucking movie do some extreme amounts of damage. From what I can understand. It's a lot of people screaming and getting dragged away into the dark, but they look like they're getting mangled. So.
You do get a look at the creatures when they're down in the tunnels. You don't get a good look at the queen. That bugged the shit out of me, but you do
creatures
get a good look at
in the tunnels at the end of the movie. 90% of the...
No, not at the end of the movie. When they go down...
Initially, it's very flashy though. There's no... You don't get an actual establishing shot properly of one of them until the end of the movie. It's all quick. As you would describe it yourself, it's very Cloverfieldy in the reveals of the monsters up until the end. It is. It's a lot of shaky camera footage, monsters kind of peering out from behind things, very quick flashes of them, because in fairness to the monsters, once they are on the track of you, you're not long getting nabbed. They're quite good and effective at what they're doing.
Basically, the team ends up doing a stupid, and there's a bunch of different...
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
There's a bunch of different holes.
They end up doing the stupid.
There's a bunch of different holes leading down into the mines, and they decide to... Basically, they're electrified to stop anything getting out, so they decide to fucking unhook that and stick a mic down it. And
there couldn't be any reason in a set of mines for this level of security that normally wouldn't be in any other set of mines on the planet. I'm sure it's perfectly fine and reasonable. Let's just unplug the electric fence that is visibly keeping something from getting out in. Shouldn't be an issue.
Now, to be fair, the mines are also supposed to have been ablaze for the last couple of decades, and one of the reasons that the geologist guy wants to go there in the first place is because he figures that the reason that they are burning so hot, that the reason that they're burning so hot and for so long is that there's a extremely pure form of anthracite down there. And if they get their hands on that, it could obviously be revolutionary in certain regards. But he's unsure of the whole fucking thing as well.
He's mostly there for Hellmouth.
Part of the reason why. Yeah, but they don't know that.
Well, they find out later on. This is
Yes,
they find out later on. We're not going to get into super duper crazy, although we probably will, because it's all. I won't lie to you. This is a very rudimentary film. Like, there's literally nothing you haven't seen in this before. To be honest, do you know what I mean? One of my issues with this, and the Wonder Woman 84 movie springs to mind, where, do you know, I managed to kind of go off and do a thing while I was watching the movie. I literally managed to take 40 winks watching this and just listen, and still managed to completely keep track of the movie, because for the most of the movie, you're not seeing stuff happen. It's people talking, which I don't have an issue with when the dialogue's very interesting, but it wasn't. It's just...
I'm not going to lie. I was actually the chick, Ariane, the kind of the survivalist guide that's leading them along. The way she was set up at first, I thought that it was going to turn out that she knew somebody that had disappeared and she was there looking for him or something like that. And then it just turns out, no, it's actually all the research she'd done on the people that she's bringing down. Which,
I get that.
Fair enough. That's also...
Now,
fair enough. But
the thing. here's okay.
Misleading.
Like, needless to say, getting to the end of the synopsis quickly, right? Needless to say, shit goes wrong once they get out in the woods. It turns out that it may not be a hellmouth, but there's definitely a lot of fire, and there's definitely a lot of weird-looking fucking creatures walking around the place. We find out that we're going to get into some of the likes and dislikes about the movie now. Do you want to go likes first and dislikes after, or do you want to do... Which one do you want to do first? Would we do good things and then bad things, or bad things and then good things?
When we eventually did get to see the monsters, they did actually look good. Now, there's two kind of creatures in it, and it's the one we see most often that we actually get to get.
The one that you really want to see, you kind of don't. Which I would imagine is to cover up either bad CGI or ropey practical effects, one or the other. Because you do get to see the so essentially these monsters, when they grab you, they've got a venom or something that paralyzes you. So when you do see this big mother monster, or queen monster, or whatever you want to call it, queen's probably the best way to describe it, because they are described as like ants at one stage. So queen seems like a good analysis, but you're essentially seeing them through these drugged up, paralyzed eyes, and it's just blurry vision and stuff. Speaking of the paralysis, right? I have an issue here. Like, I really like this whole idea of the monsters with the whole paralysis thing and everything, but that seemed to be just something that was thrown in there for an interesting bit of storyline, because once they got down there, that paralysis doesn't seem to last diddly squat fucking time. She was fully paralyzed 1 minute and she was fucking abseiling up a fucking rope literally 2.5 minutes later. And so was the scientist guy who was brought in fresher than her. So he would have been even more freshly paralyzed than she was. I found it very odd, and there's a lot of counterintuitive storytelling going on at once. Like, say for instance, your one, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Ariane, as you said, she's this kind of survivalist chick and stuff like that. Literally, the reason they've hired her as the tour guide and to bring them up into the woods and things like that. When they have uncovered the monsters and they're running through the woods, they run for what I can only describe as an ungodly large amount of time, literally waving torches around the place, when suddenly the survivalist chick goes, "We should switch to night vision." No fucking shit, you should switch to fucking night vision. Probably the minute you started getting hunted would have been a really good time. Like, I woke up. That will tell you how upset I was. Pam will tell you, I woke up and I was like, why weren't you using night vision the minute you got out of the fucking tunnel, you idiot? They were literally hunting you down. And you're waving come fucking murder me lights all over the fucking woods.
To be fair, retrospectively, it wouldn't have made a spot of difference.
But like, on a survival instinct level, let's not make it absolutely piss fucking easy for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know, the only way they could have been more drawing of the monsters coming on them is if they literally did a Will Smith from Men in Black, where he just stood in the middle of the woods screaming, "Fucking eat me! Fucking eat me!" That's the only way they could have been more obvious as to where I could have fucking tracked them down. I've got a gimpy fucking leg.
So did you actually like anything about the fucking film? Because
I did.
Really sound like it the way you've been ranting.
I did. I thought it was shot exceptionally well. I thought it looked really good. It was like a really professionally laid out product. I will say it wasn't the most imaginative when it came to the literal cinematography of the thing. It was kind of very rudimentary, track and shot here, do a bit of this here. But, you know, what works. Looked really good. I thought Will Patton was really, really good in it. What brief bits of him we got, he really sold the character and the whole... He was the only one that really acted through the whole movie, in my opinion. Everyone else really kind of... I won't lie to you, it really felt like they dialed it in. Like, there wasn't the most exemplary performances. I won't lie to you, I wasn't blown away by this movie. I don't think it was totally shit. But
yeah, like you were saying,
it's there.
It was well made. The look of the creatures themselves, the drones, shall we say, is actually good. It's not the most original story. It's not anything that we haven't seen before. And like I said, there are a couple of bits where you're just looking, kind of going, but all you have to do is fucking.
I won't lie to you. I was out after the night vision thing fucked me off, and then when they were able to climb fucking mountains after getting paralyzed fucking an hour earlier. Because here was the thing with that paralysis scene, right? The guy who got nabbed earlier in the movie, he was still sitting there paralyzed.
Yeah, but he was also horribly fucked up, wasn't he?
He was just paralyzed. Sure, he was talking to them when they came down.
Wasn't he the guy that? Hang on, wasn't he the guy that fell and broke his leg?
Yeah, one leg. Like you're about to get murdered by a bunch of monsters.
Yeah, but my point being that, like, you know,
honest,
fucking mangled injury on top of a fucking paralytic.
But let's be honest, Giz, right? You're after falling off a cliff and breaking your leg, right? You have been bitten by some paralysis monster and dragged into a cave. You are now, presumably, from the amount of time that the paralysis appears to work within the actual realm of storytelling, which is a useless fucking amount of time, but presumably, the paralysis stuff is worn off you. You've got your one bandy leg. You are aware there's some crazy fucking monsters that are definitely looking to fuck or eat you. It's because you don't know exactly. You don't know at that stage. You just know that they're keeping you there. And if I've learned anything from watching horror movies, if crazy monsters are keeping you locked up in the cave, it's for one of two reasons. They're fucking you or eating you, or both. Or fucking you, and then its babies are coming out of you and eating you. Are you not going to go, you know what, I might just risk the one-legged stroll out of here and see if I can fucking make it out. Worst case scenario, I'm still getting fucked or eaten anyway.
Probably. Anyway, you ready to put on the trailer? Because at this stage, I'm just like sitting there going, is there anything that you actually...
Yeah.
It's just been driven into the fucking ground.
Well, like, are the points that I'm bringing up wrong?
No, I suppose
Do you know what
not.
I mean? Like, this isn't me shitting on a movie for no reason. Do you know? I normally don't shit on movies this much. Do you know what I mean? I just found it very... It was just the counterintuitive storytelling. As I said, it was shot really nice. The soundtrack behind it was really good. Like, it's a real professional product. But I think when you have a guy, acting-wise, when you have a guy like Will Patton up against a lot of other people who aren't as good at the acting, maybe, it stands out a little bit. And I just don't like counterintuitive storytelling, because it seemed like they had just written all of this cool stuff about the monsters, which I really liked. Like, the whole background story of the monsters and everything I liked. But then they just went against all of it at the end to make a dramatic finish, I think. Personally. It's still worth a watch, I suppose. I just don't expect to get blown away by it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we're going to hit the trailer for The Devil Below, and then we're going to be back talking about 100 Feet, which, on the flip side of things, I won't lie to you, really... very sold on this movie, a lot more than I was expecting to when I was going into it initially. Anyway, we'll be back after this trailer.
Hey, Dad.
Go get your tools. I'll meet you in the truck. Eric?
Eric!
I got you.
I'm looking for directions to Shookum Hills.
You never heard of it.
What are you expecting to find here?
Even with a great fire, people don't just disappear. Something else happened.
What are you doing here? We shouldn't be here. I want them gone.
Why do you need private security for a scientific expedition?
Well, to keep us safe.
Safe from what?
Wait, hold on one second. Hearing something down there. What the hell is that? Jeff! What happened? Turn it up, listen to this.
What is that?
This doesn't feel right.
Terry!
Did you hear that?
What was that thing?
How long's this been open? We do security and protection work. What is it you protect? You. They took my son, and I've been fighting him ever since.
Shh. Listen. What is that? I hear something.
This isn't good. No matter what you do, don't let him grab you. Get me out of here!
Jamie! Get down! Go, go!
I got you.
And that was the trailer for The Devil Below, which is still running. I'll just turn that off there for a sec. Yeah, so look, it's a well-shot movie. Looks good. Soundtrack's good. Will Patton's really good in it. Monsters do look cool, admittedly. You will be miffed because the one monster you really want to get a good look at, you don't get a good look at. Especially when you see its little nozzly thing coming down. Because you're kind of like, oh, it looks like what's attached to that's real interesting to see, but I'm not getting to see it, unfortunately. You do get a cool there is a cool firefight. It's just all of the action and everything really, there's nothing happening for a good 3/4 of the movie really, and then it all happens in the last 25%, which it doesn't make for something that keeps you drawn in the whole way through the film. You know what I mean? Right. Now we are moving on to the movie that I said we were moving on to previously, but we weren't, but now we are, which is
because he's just so excited he couldn't wait.
It's not like come here, don't get me wrong. It's not like this, it's not like this is Oscar worthy or anything, but I think it handled some very sensitive topics in a very interesting way, and used a very odd medium to show what is some very serious things that can happen in a real life relationship.
Yeah.
The movie we are talking about, by the way, is 2008's 100 Feet, starring Jean Grey from the X-Men, as everyone knows her.
Famke Jannson for people.
Jean Grey from the X-Men, man. Give her the creds.
Oh
yeah. So, as I briefly started describing earlier, essentially the story is there is this woman who's in an abusive relationship with a detective. She murders said detective in self-defense. She gets locked up because cop killer. You know how that goes. She gets locked up because she's a cop killer. They let her out kind of on good behavior to a certain degree, but she's doing the rest of her sentence under house arrest. And she's got the ankle
I think they never say it, but there's certain implications that I think the reason that she was let out wasn't so much for good behavior, but because she was probably going to end up getting killed if she stayed inside. There's an allusion to something happening before when she was still in there, and the people responsible were still in solitary.
Right.
So,
well, in fairness, she's not a criminal. Do you know what I mean? She's a normal lady who had to defend herself. Anyway, unfortunately for her, the detective's partner is the one that's handling her house arrest. So she's not having the greatest of times, as is, because he's very much like, who killed him? I know you didn't kill him. I fucking did kill him. He was trying to kill me. That's how I ended up killing him. No, you didn't kill him. Someone killed him.
Well, to be fair, at first, like, he is kind of like, you killed my fucking partner. Then afterwards,
I just tried to elaborate it out a little bit. Oh, my camera's froze up. Are we all froze up? No. So anyway, she meets a nice delivery guy who brings her shopping. He's a nice chap. Don't get attached to him, just to let you know. We'll get to him in a moment, because goddamn Jesus Christ.
That is
but anyway, it
quite the scene.
turns out, if you've ever watched any ghost films, that, sometimes if a traumatic situation happens within a house, the spirit can get bound to the house. So, she is sent back to the house that her husband owned. Now she owns, because he's not alive anymore. And he's still there. But he's in a much more supernatural, superhero, well, not superhero, but superpowered, ghosty. He punt kicked her clean across the room like she was a fucking paper ball at one stage. Yeah, he's got the superpowers, and he is back in ghost form. And
he's a juiced up, rage-filled ghost. They tend to be able to cause a bit of disruption.
Yeah, who is... Yes, correct. Bammy Wham. Who is he's adamant that he's going to continue on the life full of abuse because nobody takes my... what's her name in it? Marnie, thank you. Nobody takes my Marnie away. And that's it.
Yeah, it's interesting because when things first start off, she wakes up in the middle of the night, sees his face, that freaks her out. She runs, she gets hit, she falls down the stairs, she falls down the stairs, and then he appears again and knocks her out. So when Shanks arrives on the following morning...
Shanks is the detective partner.
When he arrives on, she's at the bottom of the stairs unconscious. She's like, what happened? And automatically she just goes, I fell down the stairs. And the reason for this being that she says that she made numerous reports. She called him a number of times. The reports were ignored. He ignored the calls. So that's why eventually she ended up having to defend herself. So it's interesting that automatically it's kind of like, well, you didn't believe me when he was alive. Why the fuck are you going to believe me now that he's dead? And as a result, she is once again living this cycle of abuse and keeping it to herself and making attempts to kind of deal with it herself because she has joy.
And just kind of sweep it under the rug to a certain degree because she's used to just, pardon the pun, literally taking it on the chin and just having to deal with it herself.
Yeah,
she's had no support system. Her sister doesn't like her. The only person that was ever there for her, from you kind of get the impression, is the mother. Whatever neighbours that were a bit friendly with her, they're definitely not friendly now because she's a goddamn cop-killing psychopath that lives in the house across the road.
Kids won't even come in for trick-or-treat candy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. But
you don't go over to ankle bracelet Marty's house. Okay? Nobody goes to ankle bracelet Marty's house. Kids. She'll eat you. She'll eat your soul.
Over the course of the film, basically, she makes numerous attempts to get rid of the ghost. Mike, that's his name.
Yeah. She's essentially, she's read in the books that there is normally an item or something that's keeping the ghost locked to the location. So she's running around everywhere trying to find what the fuck Mike's left in the house that could be keeping Mike attached to it. I won't lie to you, the minute I saw her grabbing the suitcase, I was like, love, you're the thing that's in the house that he's fucking attached to. It's not the luggage.
Actually, there's a very interesting the scene with Joey before his exit from the film. Do you want to know what I noticed, man? She takes off her ring, right? And it's gone.
And it's back on when she's at the door.
Then the following morning when they're in bed, straight away, the first thing I looked over and kind of went, what the hell? And it's back on her finger. That was good. That's when I was like,
this kid's, for anyone who is unaware, is a spiteful. I'm going to say poltergeist because it's definitely not a ghost.
Yes.
Because this guy can play patty cake or fucking punt kick you across a room, or he can twist your arms in a 720-degree direction and puck the ever loving fuck out of you. Because Joey gets a bad dose.
Did you ever see a film,
yes.
The Entity?
The rapey ghost movie? Yeah.
Yes, some of the effects in that, they kind of use that, I suppose, as you get the same effects in this
especially in the Joey scene, because you can literally see fists embedding into all over his flesh.
When the blood,
oh man,
goes, that's
it was good. That's not how ghosts work, but it was good.
Well,
how do you throw paint over a non-corporeal entity?
It's not paint.
How do you throw blood over a non-corporeal entity without some sort of ritual being involved?
Because at the time, the entity is making itself solid enough to be a functional thing. Besides
do you know what? It's also the weird thing is, it's nearly in counterstance to the last movie. Those couple of little weird foibles didn't bother me because the storyline was so fucking good that I was just like, Killer Ghost, I'm fucking down. I'm sorry. The minute I saw him fucking do the repeated headbutts, I was like, oh God.
But as I said, you might have something like that whereby you're okay. Personally, that didn't even pop into my head at all. So fair enough. But at the same time, you have things like the attention to detail, like the ring just appearing.
Yeah, there's lots of little subtle things that are done in this movie that I can say are literally ingenious.
When the plates go flying and the way that the cut is, that was just.
Oh man, that scene! If you think that scene from Paranormal Activity where all the plates fall out of the presses is good, this is a hurricane of delf just flying directly at this poor woman at a velocity that is just terrifying. I went into this thinking, I was like, okay, look, the domestic abuse movie with a ghost should be pretty cool. Do you know, I was like, look, it's going to be interesting. Like when we did the review bit for in the TV show, I was kind of like, yeah, that looks like it'd be an all right watch. Do you know what I mean? I was really blown away with how good this was.
Yeah, especially because it doesn't. A film like this, going into it, automatically have certain, I suppose, you think you know what you're going to see. You figure it's going to be slow paced. It'll probably be, the woman will be gaslit by telling people, oh, there's something wrong, and everyone will be like, you're full of shit. You're trying to cover up the fact that you killed your husband. You're trying to plead dementia, blah blah blah. Instead, you don't get that. Instead, it's fast paced. She doesn't even bother trying to tell people what's going on because no one believed her in the first place.
You were literally maybe 15 to 20 minutes into the movie and she is getting punt kicked around the living room by what is visibly the ghost of her ex-husband.
Yeah, there's no what the hell was that. There is a brief fake out, but it's handled very, very well, and it's early in the film too.
With the cat?
So that no, with the dude.
Oh yeah.
And that's just before shit actually gets kicked up a notch. So it's kind of like, whoa, okay. But once again, it's like
the use of that little jump scare with the dude, because normally you and I are not jump scare guys. Do you mean? But
not even
the way they use that is the proper way to use a little scare. Where those little scares are never supposed to be your main scare. That's supposed to be just a little. That's supposed to be a little guitar strum just to get the heart rolling a little bit, because it's like, okay, shit's about to start getting fucking crazy.
But what I mean is, like, I'd have half expected them to keep him in the basement so that when she does start saying that there's something up, someone comes along, finds him in the basement, and it's all chalked down to that.
Nope. No, this guy goes wandering around the house looking for her. He makes a pot of coffee when he's in the mood. He doesn't make a pot of coffee.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the first time he realized there was someone else living in the house, to be fair.
No. I was just using that as I was using it as a euphemism for how comfortable he is. He doesn't mind not being stuck in the basement. He just wants to keep people in the basement because the basement's dank and fucking creepy looking. And a good firebox.
As things turn out, yes.
Well, I would imagine that's the reason he fucked them in the basement. Because they'll cook good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all in all, 100 feet, hands down, go see it if you haven't seen it before. What are your likes and dislikes about the movie? This is a new thing we're doing, by the way, where I'm introducing a little thing called structure into the podcast.
I don't mind structure. The fact that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, the fact that
Katie.
It was fast-paced. See you, Katie. The fact that it was fast-paced, that you didn't have a lead female character that everyone thought was nuts for 90% of the movie. Instead, you had a lead female character that everyone thought was, a little bit homicidal, but who was actually just accepting the fact that there's nobody that's going to help me. I'm going to have to deal with this myself, like I've always done. So just get on with things. And there was a lot of really good, subtle stuff. That thing with the ring, one or two other little bits that, you know, it's just attention to detail like that makes you sit there and kind of go, this is a good fucking film.
I have to say, the way they shot the movie, number one, I thought was absolutely really amazing, because even there was a certain constant level of motion, even when it was just, say, her and the grocery guy sitting down in the kitchen having Joey, just say, like, it's her and Joey just having a conversation in the kitchen, or her and Shanks having a conversation. There's this constant movement to everything where nothing really seems stagnant or you're stuck in a boring conversation or anything, and none of these conversations that you have with people last overly long. There's a real organic flow to everything throughout the movie. I agree. The stuff they did with the ghost was great. The way they handled him, absolutely brilliant, down to the ground. I liked that a movie actually had some fucking character progression in it, which was nice, because Shanks has there's a lot of character progression through him throughout, because you can see there's initially he thinks she's the murderer of the husband. Then he starts going investigating and realizes that, oh, there actually are a load of these fucking abuse reports that I never got to see because the husband's just buried them in a load of paperwork, so no one ever found them. You know, and then he realizes, oh shit, so maybe shit isn't, you know, and you see this progression where he's kind of like, okay, and you kind of like him more as a character for it, because you can see him go, you know, okay, I was an asshole because I was working on this premise, and now I have a whole lot more information sitting on front of me, and I definitely have the wrong side of the stick here. And even flips the story to a degree where he thinks she's not the one that murdered the husband. She thinks that somebody else murdered the husband, and she's taken the rap for him for some reason.
Yeah. Until eventually he kind of goes, okay, this is what the fuck.
The final ghost fight, won't get into this because you should watch the movie for the final ghost fight, because it's brilliant. But everything from Joey on is absolutely lightning paced, without feeling rushed. Like, it's a frantic series of sequences that are just brilliant. Soundtrack throughout is really good. The general overall look of it was really, really good. And it was just a really, really well put together movie. Everyone, acting wise, I think, did a great job. Jean Grey did a great job, like, playing that. Well, she did a genuinely really, really good job.
Yes, she did. I'm laughing at the fact that you refused to even attempt to say her name.
It's a very weird character. Well, sorry, not a weird character, but it's a weird place to play with a character where it's a case of she's not just this abuse victim anymore. You know, she stood up for herself, and she's, you know, there's a level of hardness to her from dealing with it for so long and everything like that. So you're not dealing with just like a frail, I don't know what to do, my ex-husband. Yeah. You know, she's very proactive about everything. Do you know what I mean? And I found that really refreshing to see. And I thought it was ingenious how they did handle the very serious topic of domestic abuse and managed to show it in a horror movie format, but still really give you an insight sometimes into how haunting it can be when you have something like that go on. And it's not something that just leaves your life like that just because the guy's gone.
The fact that she's trapped in the house as well,
it's amazing. It's really good. It says a lot without actually ever trying to drill a message home, which is really refreshing, especially in this modern day of cinema where everyone's trying to drill a fucking message through the movie. Yeah, the movie is your message. Do you know what I mean? You're not supposed to have the people in the movie drilling the message home. The movie itself is supposed to drill the message home. And this does that in spades. Really good movie. If you haven't seen it before, go see it. Really good. You won't be disappointed at all. I think that's it for that. Will we hit trailer? Trailer time. Okay, we're going to hit the trailer. We're going to be back to let you know what's coming up for the rest of the week.
Hey, Dad.
Go get your tools. I'll meet you in the truck.
Enjoy the fresh air. It's the last time you'll get to. You're now under house arrest, and you'll remain in these premises for the duration of your entire sentence.
You wouldn't believe me.
Try me.
Mike did this to me.
Only Mike's dead.
Well, he's taking the news badly.
I guess living in a house where you killed your husband must be tough on anyone, huh?
This is my house. And I'm not leaving, you hear me?
It's been a long time since you've been to confession, Marnie.
What do you want? I know I committed a terrible crime, but I'm not a murderer. I'm not.
Right, that was the trailer for 100 Feet. Really good trailer as well. Gives you a nice vibe for the movie without ruining anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You get that there's a ghost. You get that she's being domestically abused by said ghost. And that's about all.
Actually, just when I was when the trailer was on, I liked the bit with the priest, because once again, in the whole general terms, that fits into, historically speaking, how those things kind of went.
So he's a police officer. He wouldn't be abusing you. Move on with your day. Thanks, Father Jackass. Fucking hell. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Tom, thanks for being in the chat. Katie, Bree, Bill, Buzz, Pam, Midnight. I think that's everybody that was bouncing around. There was a few other people, but they didn't say anything, judging by the numbers. But everyone, thanks for joining us. Always means a lot when we have people here to talk with us, because we enjoy it. It's one of the reasons we decided to do a live show, because Giz and I like having the bants with people in general, as well as doing the podcast. TV shows where we lock in a room together and talk stuff ourselves. Podcast is for everyone. Everyone gets a voice. Anyway, coming up on American Horrors tonight, tying in with the movie that we just reviewed, we're talking about a load of evil horror villains that you probably haven't heard of before. Mike from 100 Feet being one of them, because goddamn, he ranks up there. He is sadistic, to say the least. That's over in American Horrors. It could have already started by now, judging by the time, or maybe not. Who knows? But customarily starts at 8:30 p.m. CST, whatever that equates to as GMTs. But hopefully it's one of the nights where it's running a bit late, where you can go over. But we'll have a trailer for you in a second. Buzz and Carter are going to be back on Tuesday doing another original versus remake. And then we are going to be back where we're going to be talking a whole host of tornado-related horror movies on Thursday night. We're not even doing a Sharknado. Oh, no, we are. We're doing one Sharknado. I think it's Sharknado 4. After doing... You're going to see what I'm saying about the Sharknadoes, dude, when we're watching it. Do you know what I mean? That it's a case of, I know it's not a good movie, but as a guy who directs films, it really is like a little golden mecca where it's kind of like, hey, I know I might feel down, but Sharknado got made. And if Sharknado got made, any movie can get made.
You know what? I'm just glad that the Aldi down the road for me has gotten back in that lemon cider, because I have a funny feeling I'm going to need a lot of it to get through those films.
Yeah, you will. You will. They're not your cup of tea. I can tell you that straight out. Yeah, so that's the lineup for the rest of the week. Other than that, if any of you like watching Call of Duty videos, join me over on Twitch on Wednesday, where I'm going to be having some more hilarious shooty antics at 7 or 8 p.m. GMT, at 2 p.m. CST, I think, something like that. Yeah, for myself and the Warzone Wednesday crew or go check out our TikTok page if you want to see some of those Call of Duty videos. I've been editing some very funny videos together. I like to fuck with people when I'm gaming. Not in a bad way. I'm not like a troll kind of guy, but like they're just fun. Do you know what I mean? Cheeky. Cheeky would be the word.
Okay, then.
As per usual, we are on YouTube, so if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't been to the stream before, would you mind hitting subscribe while you're down there? Hit the like button as well, because that helps everybody see the videos and gets us in the analytics, supposedly. See, there's words like analytics. I know YouTube. And hit the bell icon, because if you enjoy myself and Giz's antics, and Buzz and Carter's antics, or myself, Giz and Buzz and Carter's antics, depending on what day it is, that little bell icon, from what I understand, between Katie and Giz, a good 60 to 75% of the time, it works every time. So that's all good. And other than that, we're going to catch you next week. We're going to be talking about some other sort of mad horror bollocks. Here's a funny trailer where myself and Giz met a golem. Catch you next week. Bye.
I never thought I'd go this way. Why, an onyx?
Yeah, you know, like the rock type Pokemon. It's the only thing it could be.
I don't know, man. I think it's like a golem or something.
Golem? It's definitely not a golem. Atronach, maybe?
No. I think it's a gargoyle.
It's definitely not a gargoyle. Gargoyle still wins.
True. Well, not all.
What is your deal, man? What are you? Like, I've never seen anything like you before.
I still think it's a gargoyle.
Definitely not a gargoyle. You seem pretty pissed off about that. Hold on, this doesn't give me a good idea for an episode. Join myself and Giz this Sunday, 8:30 p.m. CST, and whatever that equates to as GMTs, only on American Horrors. We're going to be talking about some of the coolest horror movie villains you've never heard of.
Quicker than I thought it would.
That was a lot more effective than I was expecting.
Yeah, pint?
Yeah, okay. Maybe just a little pint.
You can't have just a little pint. It's either a pint or it's not.
This is true.
Don't forget, if you enjoy our Madcap GoreCast horror hijinks, we stream 3 nights a week over on YouTube, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays, where you can see a little bit of this. Turd spoon, god damn, I knew there was something I wanted to bring up in the... God damn, I don't know what a fucking turd spoon is, but I'm mad to...
Yeah, it's pretty in-depth.
Most definitely some of this.
With a new 2009 twist. She pulls out of her vagina.
Like, you know how like magicians kind of like do something and they pause dramatically? She took that dramatic pause.
And occasionally some of this.
Our favorite Halloween movies.
What's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast. Yeah, okay, I'm here. I'm back.